Moffett goes in motion to the far sideline. Emmel looking to pass. Little screen play to Gavin French. He's got some room to work over there on the far sideline. Dives forward, and he will have the first down on that diving effort.
Inside to Krause. Big bucket, Avery Krause. Big bucket. Intercepts the pass. Billies have a chance here to add to their lead. Kramer feeling it. Another three. Drained it. 3 3-pointers in the first half for Trapper. Kramer gives the Billies.
Deep breath. Here's the pitch. There's a shot. That could be gone. That's out of here. How do you end the game?
He's ready to go. Danny lines, kicks, digs, and there's a ball again. He's going to hit.
Welcome to another Billies.Live production. Find us on your favorite social sites and apps. Like, subscribe, and get notified when we go live.
Why are these men smiling? Why? Because it's game day, baby. Game day Friday. Playoff game day Friday. Playoff. Can everybody say playoffs? Playoffs! We'll be right back.
We are proud to announce the payoff of our video scoreboard project 8 months ahead of schedule and at no cost to local taxpayers. This project will now provide over $100,000 a year to help Battlin Billie athletics pursue perfection. Billy Boosters has been providing our athletic programs with the tools to maintain high standards and consistent success since 1984.
Thank you to all of our sponsors, members, directors, officers, and parents for their continued support of student athletes and coaches.
Black Chalk Home and Laundry is one of the most unique home decor and gift boutiques in the Texas Hill Country. Come get lost in the found and unbound items that surprise and delight you around every turn. Steeped in history, our building will take you back to a bygone era that delights the senses. Black Chalk Home and Laundry, a happy place filled with the found and unbound. Come, discover yourself, and love your home.
Creek Street Dental utilizes the latest technologies in dental care. Dr. McBride has been specially trained to offer the Hill Country sedation dentistry. Anxious patients can sleep through oral surgery in a private room with family nearby. Their CBCT machine provides near-silent imaging, making possible the most painless and effective treatments. iTero technology allows virtual manipulation and modeling, so no more gagging on impression trays. Call 830-990-1178 for the best in your family's dental health today.
Los Cazadores is the stop for hunters to gear up and get ready for season. The store in Stonewall, Texas has been remodeled and stocked with guns, ammo, feeders, blinds, and much more. Los Cazadores has the top archery products, offering expert experience with an on-site 3D range. Bucks are brought in from all around to be scored with trophy scan technology and entered into our contest. Stop in and sign up for the world's largest whitetail hunting contest.
Nature and beauty along the fairways at Lady Bird have a way of slowing life down. While the front nine features significant elevation changes and the tranquility of Live Oak Creek, the back nine stuns with its panoramic vistas of the surrounding hills. As the home of the Fredericksburg Junior Golf Foundation and the Fredericksburg Middle School and High School golf teams, all of us at Lady Bird Johnson Golf Course are proud to support our community's tradition of excellence. Lady Bird Johnson Golf Course. Practice, play your way.
72 Degrees Air Conditioning and Heating offers a wide variety of services to Fredericksburg and the Hill Country. Repairs, installation, maintenance, design, even air quality control for allergies. 72 Degrees Air Conditioning and Heating, Fredericksburg's comfort company. Fast, same-day service and world-class technicians make 72 Degrees Fredericksburg's company of choice. Emergency service 24/7. Call 830-997-5651. 72degreestexas.com. License number TACLB 27138E.
And welcome back, Billy Nation. Got
a live crowd this morning.
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud.
Coach Chris Beckendorf says, "Good morning, Billy Nation."
All right.
Good morning, Billy Nation. It is a It is
good morning for sure.
Good morning. Big 45 to 41 win over Somerset.
Yep.
Tough Somerset opponent.
No doubt.
By district championship.
Yep.
Hoisted the trophy.
Yep. No doubt.
How was it there at Judson Rutledge?
That was a great venue.
Stadium?
Shout out to them and their AD, Treva Corrales, for hosting us and putting together a great venue. I mean, it was a really cool place to play. It's a storied place to play. You know, Judson is a historically great program. So it was really cool. It was a neat deal. And yeah, it was
a heck of a game.
Roller coaster of emotions.
I mean, it was a great playoff game.
It was. It was a great atmosphere.
Game.
It was cool. The kids were juiced. Both teams had, you know, an inflated roster. You know, you brought some of your freshmen, some of your JV guys. You know, had a lot more kids on the sideline, and it was good. I mean, it was as advertised. You know, and they were a tough opponent. They were as advertised as well. They were 8-2. You know, Coy Detmer, shout out to him, does a great job with that program, and he did an exceptional job of calling plays last week. And his son Cole did an exceptional job of executing their offense. And you know, I'll go out on a limb and say he's one of the better quarterbacks we've played all year, and we knew that going in, and he certainly did a good job of it for sure. So
you know, you and I have talked a lot about. You know, sometimes it comes down to 5 plays in a game, 6 plays,
no question.
Key plays.
No question.
But in the playoffs, you can narrow that down.
Yeah,
2
certainly.
plays come to my mind.
Okay.
One, when you held them to 3.
Yeah.
That was huge.
It was.
Big play,
Yeah.
holding them to a field goal.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Angel Neary's interception. I think those, are, in my mind, are the 2 key plays that pulled you through.
Yeah, so every week we tell the kids that there's going to be 5 plays that are going to make the difference in the game.
Right.
And that the problem is we don't know which 5 plays it's going to be, right? If we were prophetic or whatever, I'd be coaching in the NFL, because if I could figure that out, then, you know, I'd be a lot better at my job. But the point is, you have to play every play like it's one of those plays. And then when those plays happen, you have to make those plays. And yeah, that was the field goal deal. You know, that was our second turnover in the second half. They're driving down the field. They go score again. You know, they're going to take a commanding lead, but instead they take a 10-point lead on us or whatever it was. I forget exactly the scenario. But, I mean, it was a big defensive boost because we held them to that situation. So yeah, I mean, that was a big deal. And then Angel's interception, man, Angel was due. We've been talking all year about Angel.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Angel, you know, he's dropped not several, but a few this year that he could have had. He had a big one at Taylor that he could have picked the ball and it bounced out of his hands and landed in the receiver's hands in the end zone. So it turned from what could have been an interception into a touchdown. You know, and so and he's, you know, there's nobody more critical of themselves than him. And so from my perspective, it was great to see the elation on that kid's face when he came off the field after making that. He ran about 300 yards all the way across the field, and he came up 2 yards short from scoring a touchdown. So he was disappointed that he didn't get to score the touchdown. But you know, we took the ball and scored, you know, 2 plays later or whatever, and that was, you know, that's what put us back in the game in a situation where we're down and really, and you watch that.
Mr. Moe.
Well, yeah, and you watch that play on film. If that ball is thrown, you know, 2 yards to Angel's right, it's a touchdown because the slant route is open behind him. And he broke on it, made a great break on it, and was making a great play. But if the ball's delivered in a different place, it's a touchdown, and now they're up, you know, 2 scores or whatever late in the game. That was in the fourth quarter. So yeah, I mean, it was a huge play, and that's what you depend on is those big plays. And when they happen, you got to be ready to make the play, and Angel did, and the defense did. You know, James Sabera,
I was going to say the defense stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, James Sabera had a big play early when they're driving down the field to go score, where he tips the ball, catches it to himself, and goes scores a touchdown. So, you know, that touchdown made a difference as well. So yeah, there was some big plays in the game that happened. You know, the roller coaster of it. Don't get too high when things are going good. Don't get too low when things are going bad. And bouncing back. And you know, another thing that's really cool to me, we didn't punt. We didn't punt one time. They didn't make us punt one time. So we did quick kick. We quick kicked to end the game, right? So we're down there in that situation. We've got the 5-point lead or 4-point lead or whatever, and it's 4th down, and it's 4th and 13 or whatever it is, and we're on our own end of the field. And, you know, you go for it there, and they've got a little bit shorter field, and we're all debating on what to do, and we take the clock all the way down to 1 second and call timeout, and we get everybody over, and you know, Cole said, just let me quick kick it. And we're like, okay, let's do that. That's a good idea. And, of course, that's what the defensive coaches wanted to do. They always want us to try to get more field position for them. And so so we did that, and Cole did it, and he did a great job, and the ball rolled favorably, and they got the ball inside their 15-yard line, and they had a long way to go. And so our defense was able to come out and finish the game for us. So yeah, I mean, it was a cool deal, lots of fun, and you know, that's what it's all about, is being able to play those games. So yeah, it was a great deal.
Yeah, absolutely, and for the seniors, I mean, the entire team, coaching staff, everyone involved just left it all on the field.
Yeah, no
But
question.
you can tell those seniors, they're not ready to. They're not ready to pack it up.
Are.
They're not ready to go fishing just yet.
Right, and so that's the deal. You know, I say this to them every year, and sometimes they listen, and sometimes they don't. They're teenagers, right? But we can play as long as they're willing to play, right? As long as they're willing to keep putting in the work. We've been talking all year about our book called Win in the Dark. As long as they're willing to keep putting in the work in the dark on Monday morning, and on Tuesday morning, and on Wednesday morning, and on all of those afternoons, and then on Thursday morning, as long as they're willing to keep putting in the work, then we can continue to play. And that was something that this group, I think, coming out of last season, I think these seniors wanted to do something special. And they have, and they've accomplished it. And I certainly know that they're not ready for this thing to end. So yeah, I mean, they're willing to do it. They did the work this week. They put in the time. They did it last week, and you could see the elation of winning that game, because at one point in the fourth quarter, you know, the game was in question, right? Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing was there was a sense of calm on the sideline, right? Not at first, not when we turned it over twice on offense, right? There wasn't a sense of calm in that moment. There was a sense of anger in that moment and frustration. But as we progressed our way through that, and we realized that, you know, we could continue to move the ball and go score, and we were making some plays on defense, you know, we've got a chance to win this game. And those kids, I said it on the interview after the game, was that, you know, they just willed us to win that game because they wanted to. And it was led by our seniors and led by our captains and led by our leaders and our coaches. You know, never stopped believing, never stopped working the problem. You know, that's what coaches do during a game, is you work the problems. The problems are, okay, they're doing this, we thought they were going to do that, so how do we counter that? And so the coaches did an exceptional job of working through those problems that they were doing. You know, they did some things on offense that they hadn't done to exploit us. And in the playoffs, you know, everybody's coaching. The coaches are good in the playoffs, and they're good in our district, and they're good in our pre-district, but certainly in the playoffs, you know, they're going to try to exploit the things they think they can exploit on your team. And so, you know, Somerset and their group did that, and we just had to keep working.
Good to see the team being resilient.
Yeah, no question.
Extremely resilient in the game, and like you say, not hanging their heads down when things go wrong. And
no, I mean, that's human nature is negativity, right? And so when things aren't going well, that's human nature, is to hang your head and, you know, well, here we go again, or oh no, this is gonna, you know, we're gonna lose or whatever. And that never happened, you know, and that's part of my role. You know, it sometimes the kids make me prophetic, right? When Angel picked that ball off, you know, I had just walked down the sideline, and I pointed at every JV player, and I said, you need to be thinking about a turnover. You need to be thinking about a turnover. Everybody on the sideline needs to be thinking about a turnover.
About that time came
and that's what I say
on the broadcast, said turnover.
Well, and I say that every time we're on defense, right? Especially when they get into our end of the field, you got to start thinking about something different happening than what's happening at that moment. And so, you know, sometimes I look prophetic, and sometimes I look silly because I'm like, well, how are we going to get a turnover, coach? But they did it, and, you know, made a great play, and it was good. And so it was an overall good night, and you know, we were good in all three phases. You know, again, we didn't have to punt. That's always a great thing. I felt like our kickoff team could have done some things a little bit better. We tried to position the ball to different locations, and a couple times we let them get a couple of big kickoffs up the sideline, so they started with some pretty good field position, which we don't typically want but we also we pinned them a couple times as well. So, and then, you know, I mean, our kickoff return team was pretty good. We again got, you know, a couple of blocks away from having a big kick return and fielded the ball well. And so it was just it's a good night all around. 3 phases of football and a by-district championship, which hadn't happened in a while. So
since what, about 2013? 2013, I believe, was the last time. So that's got to feel just really, really good.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, that's what we want to do, right? I mean, that's what we want to accomplish, and you know, self-professed, we haven't done it enough, and disappointingly, right, we haven't won enough playoff games in the 11 years we've been here. We certainly wanted to win more than 2, but we've won 2, and that's this year, and we're taking care of it. And so, and like I said, these kids want to keep playing, and they are. They've got a chance to play in week 2 of the playoffs, and it's here, and we're ready for them to put it back out on the field tonight.
Man, you talk about fun to watch now. Fun to watch.
Yeah, and shout out to Billies.Live. You know, I don't typically get to watch it this week. However, I did take some time. Good, bad, or indifferent, you know, we don't have as many extra responsibilities regarding our JV and our freshmen since they're not playing games anymore. So freed up a little bit of time. So this week I actually got to watch a little bit of last week's game on Billies.Live, you know, on YouTube. And I mean, the picture is amazing. The broadcasting is amazing. The environment is amazing. I mean, it's just a top-notch, first-class operation. So shout out to Paige for putting that together and serving our community in a way that, you know, people that can't travel tonight, I think we're already pre-sale tickets, we're already halfway full in the stadium tonight. So, and that's normally a good indication if you've sold that many already.
Right.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
So I assume we're going to travel really well, but there's certainly going to be people that can't because this is the beginning of Thanksgiving weekend or whatever. And so, shout out to Billies.Live.
And then Billy Nation all over the world can watch.
Yeah, no, and certainly, you know, have friends all over
the
world being able to watch. So,
yeah.
No, but it was a great time and a good, you know, good opportunity to showcase our community and everything that we do. You know, our band does a great job. Our drill team, our cheer group, our ROTC, all the things that
the
make
Red
up
Hots
Billy Nation.
with their
the Red Hots with their routine
which,
at halftime, and I mean it's a cool deal, and that's what this is all about. You know, at the end of the day, tell the kids that if we get this opportunity, it's to showcase our community and to represent our community, and then obviously to give all blessings to God and share that with the world when we get the opportunity to do this. So it's a good time to be a Battlin Billie, that's for sure.
Football is community. It's community, man.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Live at Barefoot, 108 East Main, Fredericksburg. Coffee with Coach Lance Moffett, JD Rose. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Strayer and Ulfers, from humble beginnings to a Fredericksburg mainstay. When Edgar Strayer purchased an oil and gas business in 1928, he may not have envisioned it would still thrive nearly a century later. Guiding through the Great Depression, he built a clientele of area farmers with a firm handshake and friendly service. 2 succeeding generations still run the business. Roy Strayer and his sister Betty are mainstays around their shop on Adams Street, where their sons Steve, Charles, and Edward service the needs of thousands of locals and visitors alike. Strayer and Ulfers, a Fredericksburg institution.
For over 7 decades, and with the support of customers like you, Ewald Kubota has grown to be the #1 Kubota volume dealer in the United States. Plus, we have the distinct honor of being a Kubota Elite dealer. So thank you, Jim, Julio, Jamar, Mr. Loya, Mike, Letty, Mr. Rodriguez, Paul and Penny, Thomas and Catherine, Mr. Miranda. From the Gulf of Mexico to the Hill Country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Hill Country Refrigeration has been providing the Texas Hill Country with quality heat and air conditioning service, installation, and repair for 47 years. They offer dependable, friendly, and professional customer service. Robert and Clara Ann Almers founded Hill Country Refrigeration in 1974, but have been enjoying Battlin Billie Sports for a lifetime. The Almers family are born and raised Billy fans. 4 generations, that is. Hill Country Refrigeration, where customizing comfort is their award-winning game. From one winning team to another, best of luck, Billies.
We love living in the country. My husband works from home, and I teach our 5 youngest children here as well. Fast, uncapped, reliable internet is critical for our family. And that's exactly what we've gotten from Bee Creek for over 10 years now. Bee Creek Communications. Always on, high-speed internet.
Gaddy's Pizza in Fredericksburg is a huge supporter of Battlin Billie Sports, students, and teachers. In fact, Gaddy's offers a lunch special for teachers and students Monday through Friday for only $7.65, and that includes a drink. Gaddy's Pizza also has pasta, dessert, and one of the best salad bars in town. Enjoy the game room. Kids of all ages love it. Gaddy's takes pizza seriously. 2931 Highway 16 South in Fredericksburg. Billy Pride, Iberales.
Segner's is your jewelry destination for everyday and special occasion jewelry. Just ask Olympic gold medalist in women's softball, Kat Osterman. She trusts Segner's. Find us at 236 West Main Street or on the web at segnersjewelers.com. Come check out our custom-designed Billy's charms, keychains, and so much more. We love and support our hometown teams. Go Billies!
This broadcast is supported by Votive Hospice, a family-owned hospice founded by Fredericksburg natives. Votive Hospice is Fredericksburg's only Joint Commission accredited hospice. They're also Fredericksburg's first community-based palliative care, which means their team can help you or your loved one prior to needing hospice at no cost to you or your family. Votive is led by Dr. Rad Kothman and certified hospice and palliative care nurse Carrie Weaver. Visit votivehospice.com or call 998-1925. Votive Hospice, they're with you.
Kids playing. Hey, we're back. We're back. Right here on Billies.Live and TexasRadio.net. We got Billy Nation out there. Got a couple of questions.
A couple of questions for the.
Bob Harris wants to know first, is JD going to help you coach tonight, Coach?
Is JD going to help me coach
No.
tonight? Hard no to that. He can certainly join the rest of the bleacher coaches that he likes to if he wants to.
You have those?
Yes.
Question number 2 is how confident you feel going into the game?
How confident? I'm very confident because I believe in these kids.
Amen.
Certainly.
Amen to that.
I believe in them. I believe in what they want to do. I believe in our coaches and the game plan they've put together. And so, you're very confident always just because you work with them all week and all of that. I like the matchup. What they want to do on offense is what we've proven to be pretty good at on defense. And so, they're certainly a really good team. We're going to talk about them in detail. Yeah. But I'm confident in our kids just because I know them so well and I know what they want to accomplish and how hard they've worked to get here to this point. And so yeah, I mean, I'm confident. Certainly, we got a whole lot of work to do.
Step by step, week by week.
Yeah, but the confidence is there, and I think it's there with the kids as well, and that's what matters. I believe in them no matter what. Never stop believing in them. But when they're confident in the plan and what we're going to do.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Importantly, too, is them buying into what the coaching staff.
Yeah, no, and they have. I mean,
they've bought in.
And that's I've talked before about the importance of us watching film and showing video to them of practice and stuff because teenagers don't typically believe you unless you show them. That's just the nature of being a teenager. They have their own belief system. They have their own. I know how to do it better than you, or I'm figuring it out on my own, or whatever. And so, film is a unique tool that we're able to use to show them, no, you did it the way we said you did it, and you've got to do it the way we need you to do it. And so, and I think we've had some of that. And when you show them, they gain confidence when what you ask them to do works. There's a flip side to that. Sometimes they have success doing it their way, and they did it wrong, but they got a pick six, or they scored a touchdown even though, the defense blitzed the wrong way, or we didn't block it right, or whatever, and we snuck out the back door and we scored a touchdown doing it wrong. So that happens too. But you put those two things together, and that's what builds their confidence in each other. And certainly, I never not have confidence in these kids just because of what we've done. We talked this morning at the pep rally. This is week 16 for us, right? We've been together for 16 weeks, and that's just the season, right? We spent 7 weeks in the summer grinding it out at summer speed and strength camp, and then we spent since last November grinding it out, playing all the other sports, having success in track, having success in baseball, having success in basketball. Having great success in the weight room. You know, so the confidence is just there because of all the things we've done. You know, it's not a matter of who we're playing or any of that stuff. It's just about having seen the big picture of what we've done over the last so many months.
And winning is always good for confidence.
No question.
I heard.
Yeah, you think? No doubt.
So that's always good. 1-0 in the postseason. We talked step by step, game by game, play by play, but by district championship.
Yeah.
How's the rest of the district stacking up in the playoffs?
So 2-2, if you will. Canyon Lake fell to. We talked about it last week. Canyon Lake fell to Bernie in the first round. A tough game. They had them. They were ahead of them at halftime. 2 scores, I think. Bernie roared back and finished the game and beat them. And Canyon Lake had a shot at the end to win the game. And then LBJ won as expected, pretty handily over Lavernia. And then surprisingly, Pleasanton beat Lampasas. That was, I think, that was a
little
surprise.
bit of a surprise. Yeah.
Once you kind of know the details, not as much surprise. They got their quarterback back. They went through a series of district games where their quarterback was injured, and he's a really good quarterback. I think at one point they were on their 3rd string quarterback, so their offense wasn't able to operate as well, and they dropped one to Somerset. But when their quarterback was operating, they took Bernie to overtime. So that's kind of how you know when you're missing your top quarterback, then you're going to struggle a little bit. So 2-2, us and LBJ advanced, and Lampasas and Canyon Lake finished their season. Great season for both of those programs as well. But that's where we are, and we won our 7th ball game. So couldn't be more proud of our kids for that. It's the most game we've won since 2013 when we won 10. So we typically hit the mark of 6-4 or 5-5 or something like that. So it's good to win 7 games and now have a chance to try to win the 8th one. So,
love it. What about the Scout Team Players of the Week from Somerset?
Yeah, so we shifted
to the Scout team.
So these guys are so important, and so this week in the playoffs we shifted from having a JV Freshman Player of the Week from their game to just picking out the kids that work hard in practice who probably aren't going to get to play very much tonight, right? Because they just get to do a great job in practice, and if everything goes right, then maybe they'll get in the game, or maybe they won't. But more than likely, they're not.
But they work hard at trying to give you the
But
looks.
they give us a look, and
look.
Well, yeah, and we'll talk about Calallen in a minute. But with what they do on offense, we have to teach the scout team, and so we spend 8 minutes on offense and 8 minutes on defense on Monday morning, talking to the varsity about the scouting report and what they're going to do. But while that's going on, the other side of the ball has the JV and the freshmen who are with us outside, and they're lining them up in Calallen's defense, showing them this is how they're going to line up. This is how we need you to line up. This is what we need you to do. We need you to, when we do this, we need you. So they're learning the other team's offense and defense while our varsity's getting their scouting report. And then they have to go execute it. And we try to, one of my big things in practice is reps. And we try to get as many reps as we can in as short a period of time in practice. And like when we're playing defense in practice, we've got a varsity huddle run and play in. As soon as they come off, a JV huddle comes in and runs another play. And we're trying to keep those varsity players moving and going, and so when the pace of the game goes. So these kids, all did a great job of that. There's about 30 of them that are practicing with us. We certainly expect all the JV kids to be at practice. And then if they choose to travel, of course, this week, not as many of them are traveling because it's a holiday weekend and they've got family plans and things like that. But our JV scout players, I'll get right to it. Brett Bowers, number 9, just a great kid who does a great job. He's going to be a really great football player in the future. Emmanuel Benitez as well, another lineman who works really hard and does everything we ask him, and just a great kid. And then our 9th graders, we invited 4 freshmen to play on the varsity during the playoffs, and we invite them specifically because the position they play, we were a little light in the different positions at running back and slot receiver and stuff like that. So we asked these guys to play, and then defensively at outside linebacker so that they could get a little bit of experience and we could look at them a little bit. So number 25, Caden Coons, and number 16, Deacon Russell from their teams both ninth grade players of the week. And then our varsity player of the week, a kid that I love, amazing kid, power lifter, works his tail off, everything you ask him to do, always has a huge smile on his face, Sammy DeLuna. And he is Mr. Positivity all the time. And I just love that kid, and I love everything he does and everything he represents about our program.
Let's hear it for him.
Shout out to those.
Let's hear it for him, yeah.
No doubt.
Good stuff. Well, we're going to talk about tonight's big matchup between Fredericksburg and Calallen, but first we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more Coffee with Coach.
Hello, my name is Greg Nebgen with 4N Cattle Company. I want to talk to you a little bit about J Ford Trailer and my experience. So I was looking for a new cattle trailer, stopped by, talked to Josh, customized what I wanted. I own a local business. I want to do my business local. Prices were very competitive. I looked at trailers everywhere. They were $1,000 cheaper, if not more. I was going to buy local anyway. They beat everybody in price. And then they even delivered it. J Ford Trailer, that's where I got mine.
Texas Hill Country Orthopedic, the official sports medicine provider of the Battlin Billies. Our board-certified and fellowship-trained doctors provide personalized and comprehensive bone and joint care for all ages. We utilize the latest technologies like platelet-rich plasma treatments, and also unique to the Hill Country, we offer anterior hip replacement. Whether you've suffered a traumatic injury to your shoulder or are just tired of dealing with arthritis pain in your knees, Texas Hill Country Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here to help.
My name is Tammy, and I am a Value Med customer. The things that I love the most are the convenience, the speed, and the friendliness. Annette and Betty at the front window are always so friendly. I have called Bill, even Matt, for just personal questions regarding prescriptions or medication. Their helpfulness, willingness to spend the time with me is something you don't get at the larger pharmacies. I just think they are amazing.
Security State Bank and Trust. We've been building the communities we call home since 1941. That includes supporting our students, teachers, and schools. Behind each student is a community investing in what matters most. Security State Bank and Trust, proud supporters of Battlin Billie Sports. We're rooting for your success on and off the field. Go Billies! Celebrating our 80th year of helping build the communities we call home. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dutchman's Meat Market in Fredericksburg is the place for premium meats. Not only can you find the best cuts of meat, but Dutchman's has fresh sandwiches for lunch, a variety of snack sticks, multiple jerkies, and dried sausage. Dutchman's also has a large assortment of rubs, spices, and sauces for all your meats. So go see Dutchman's at 1609 East Main in Fredericksburg, or call in an order at 830-997-5693 or online at dutchmansmarket.com.
And we are back. Coffee with Coach. Right here at Barefoot, 108 East Main, Fredericksburg, an awesome store. It's double the size. They recently expanded here, but you can get your Battlin Billie gear right here.
No question. Had some folks yesterday in the field house asking, and we sent them over here to get their Battlin Billie gear. Apparently, you know, when you're winning, everything's good. Everybody's happy. Apparently, they're sold out at Walmart and they're sold out at HEB. So
I love it.
That's good. That's why the marketers like a winning program as well, right? So anyway,
area championship on the line tonight against the storied Calallen Wildcats. What are some of the details going in? Like, what were some of the? You have to negotiate.
You do
a lot of negotiation, right?
Yeah, and that started Friday night on the bus ride home.
Already, right?
Texting each other, talking about what we're going to do, and that's, you know, everybody thinks that there's a formula. People think that the higher seed gets to be home team or whatever and all that, and that's really, none of that's true. It's all about how much you can agree on, and typically the UIL encourages you to be as neutral as possible, so that, you know, neutral meaning halfway between the two places. So, you know, we check that bill off. It's 108 miles for us to Jourdanton, and it's 107 miles for Calallen. So he, Coach Dan.
Billy's got a raw deal.
Yeah. Well,
what's going on here?
Interestingly enough, their assistant head coach, Coach Campbell, told me they'd drive around Jourdanton for an extra mile so that it would be equal if we'd agree to come to Jourdanton. And certainly, you know, there's some negotiation. I tried to get them to come all the way into San Antonio. We had one of the Northeast ISD stadiums or one of the Northside ISD stadiums, which are both really nice venues. and I offered that to them, and then I offered to give them, they could be the home team and they could do all the rest of the details if they'd come into San Antonio. And in this situation, I mean, that was going to be 160 miles for them and 70 miles for us. So that's not really fair. So we agreed to go to Jourdanton. They're going to be the home team. We lost a flip on that deal, and so they're going to be the home team. So they're going to get the bigger side. But it's an outstanding venue. Most of our fans know from playing softball and baseball there recently.
Beautiful facility.
They have benefited greatly from the oil industry, fracking and such, and their school district has built in the last 10 years an amazing athletic facility. They've got softball and baseball turf field that are back to back, and they host playoff games every week. In fact, 1 week last year when we played there, I think they hosted 14 playoff games.
Yeah, I
when
believe it was
we were playing there. So not any different in the football world. They probably hosted a game last night, and they'll host a game tonight. They'll probably host a game tomorrow. And so it's a nice facility. They've got new turf, new bleachers, nice press box. Got a couple of dressing room facilities, not great. It's kind of up across a big field, but both of us will have a whole gym to ourselves that we can have team meetings in, and then we've got a couple of locker rooms and some spaces for our coaches, and so it's a good place to play. And you just, the whole deal, UIL encourages you to agree on those things. And if you can't agree on them, then you flip. You flip a coin, or you pull out your coach's directory, and they pick a city, and I call odd or even for the zip code, and that's how you flip over the phone. So we went through that, got that all set up, and it was a pleasure talking to those guys. Coach Danaher, he's been in Calallen for 40 years. I think he started coaching in the 70s. He certainly went to Calallen in the mid 80s, maybe. I'm not sure exactly, but they're the storied program in Texas high school football. They lead all high school programs 35 years in a row. They've been in the playoffs. So
I didn't realize
I saw that statistic on the way home last week, and I thought, oh, great, here we go. That's awesome. And that's who we get to play. That's awesome. So, but what an opportunity and what a blessing to get to play across from that coach, right? He's a legend in Texas high school coaching, and he's done an amazing job with that program. That program is the program in South Texas, right? I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that they're not, and certainly people all over the state know of the Calallen Wildcats. So,
what is their record this year?
They're 10-1 this year. So there you go. 10-1. Here we go. They lost to Cornerstone Christian toward the end of non-district. Common opponents, don't really have one. They played Kerrville, we played Kerrville, so there is one.
How'd they do against
They beat
Kerrville?
Kerrville 23-0. So we beat Kerrville 44-27. So there's I don't know, that really doesn't mean anything, right? But that's about the best you could say about that.
Do you think defensively this is going to be one of the tougher defenses
I
that
think
the Billies are going to face?
I think all the way around, this is going to be one of the tougher teams we face. I mean, in the second round of the playoffs and a storied program like Calallen, Coach Danaher and Coach Campbell and that whole program, they coach those kids so well. They're exceptionally disciplined. They play exceptionally hard, and they do what they do exceptionally well.
The fundamentals of the game?
The fundamentals of the game, the fundamentals of their offense, the fundamentals of their defense, the fundamentals of their kicking game. They are extremely well coached. And when you've been the coach in a program for 40 years and your first assistant has been there most of the time you've been there, and most of your coaches have been there, I mean, that's what you would expect from them, and that's why they've been to the playoffs 35 years. They're 3 or 4 years removed from playing in the 5A state finals. They played in the 5A state finals, I think, 4 years ago. So they're an exceptional program. So to answer your question, yeah, this will be one of the better offenses, defenses, and special teams that we've played. But what would you expect in round 2 of the playoffs?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Everybody's good now. There are no easy outs, right? You're going to
it.
have to play, you're going to have to show up, and you're going to have to get after it. The matchup is good, as I mentioned earlier, just because if we've had any success on defense, it's been stopping the run this year. And so they want to run the ball. 85% of the time, I think they want to run the football, and they do it
So they're more of a clock control
Clock
type
control,
deal?
well, no, they can score fast too. They've got
Okay.
fast dudes. They got guys that can run the explosive plays, and they can outflank you. What they want to try to do is outflank you. They want to outflank you by pulling people and getting extra gaps on the edge, and not having people on the edge. Very similar to the slot T offense. It's a little bit different in the way they line up, and but they certainly do it really, really well. And they want to outflank you. They want to get you outnumbered in space and then get by you. And so they do it really well. So we're going to have to get lined up right and make sure we fit our gaps, and everybody knows what we're supposed to be doing, and everybody's on the same page in terms of what's going on.
How about our offense matching up against their defense? How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it. I mean, they've got some dudes. Their two linebackers remind us, we all said this week, their linebackers remind us of our linebackers, Gary and Logan. So that's a compliment to them, I can promise you, because those two guys are pretty good. They might be the best two we've ever had in this program, and that's saying a lot because we've had some good linebackers. But these two guys are really good, and they're number 44 and they're number 41, I think, is the other one. They're both really, really good, and they like to hit. I mean, they're kind of mean. Like they're like old school. I've always referenced that about Gary. They're kind of old school linebackers that like to hit people and slobber knock you, right? So, yeah, I mean, they're good. They line up.
So this game could be total opposite of last week's game. I mean, it could come down to defense. It could be low scoring. I mean, we never know, but it could play out different.
They want a ball control. I think we want a ball control. Our first drive against Somerset was a 15-play drive that took 7 minutes off the clock of the first quarter. Like, that's what you want to do, right? I mean, that's what Canyon Lake wants to do. That's what Liberty Hill wants to do. I think that's what Calallen wants to do. So yeah, it's definitely going to come down to that situation. I would not try to predict what it's going to be like. At the end of the first half of last week, you thought that might end as a low-scoring game, and then it turns into a shootout, right? So you never know what the dynamic of the game's going to, or how the dynamic of the game is going to work. I know what we have to do. We have to be able to force them to get out of their offense. We have to be able to force them to punt. We have to force some turnovers. We have to stop them and then gain some possessions from either our defense or our special teams. And then when we have the ball, we have to take advantage of our possessions.
Well, I've got total confidence in our defense.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've played really well all year and done a really good job. The offense has. The cool thing is, we did this last week. We've played complementary football. When we needed the offense to do something to get the momentum back or get the energy back to the defense or whatever, we've been able to do that. When we needed the defense to get a stop or to get a turnover or whatever, they've been able to do that. Certainly, you pull your hair out because you give up a big explosive play and they go score a touchdown. And as a defensive coach, you're angry because you gave up a big play or whatever. But then you turn around the next series and your defense produces a big interception to get us back in a game or whatever. So, it's just a balancing act of understanding, the ebb and flow of the game and keeping it moving. And then, special teams, we got to do a pretty good job. They're really good on special teams, and they move the ball around. And the thing that I will say about them that is really good is that they're very consistent with what they do because they've done it for so long and they believe in it. And those kids, they're a storied program where those kids are running their offense in Little League, right? And that's just, everybody wants to be a Calallen Wildcat in that community, and it's a huge deal. And so, having said that,
sounds like they're very disciplined as well.
Very disciplined and very talented. I mean, they've got some really good players. So
how about their quarterback, running backs?
Yeah, their skill positions are really good. Quarterback operates the offense really well and spreads the ball out. They've got a bunch of guys that are explosive, that move. And they can throw it when they need to. In the podcast this week, Reed Graff had watched some film, and he said, man, the quarterback can sling it. Yeah, he can. I mean, he can throw it when he wants to. They just hadn't had to really much, and that's part of the 85% run.
So I take it their offensive line is going to be the real deal, too.
The offensive line comes off the ball. They're big. They play their technique well. So, and our defensive line is pretty good. So, again, it's all about matchups. And so, kids got to play, and kids got to, get their mind right, and they got to play hard, and they got to be willing to take it to them and do all the things we want them to do. So, they've had a great record. I mentioned that they played Kerrville. They lost to Cornerstone Christian. They kind of ran through their district. And so, they're a really good program, and like I said earlier, what else would you expect in the second round? You know,
Right.
you want to play a good team, you want to play a good program, and lay it out there on the line.
Just
and go
keeps
get it
getting
done.
tighter and
Yeah,
tighter
no
and
question.
tighter the deeper into the playoffs
No
you get.
question, no
Eventually,
question.
it comes down to just one play.
Yeah, no, certainly.
That's how
certainly could.
That's how the
There's no
playoffs
doubt
work.
about that, no doubt.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with more coffee with Coach Lance Moffett, JD Rose, live at Barefoot. We'll be right back.
As Fredericksburg celebrates 175 years, Arrowhead Bank is celebrating almost 100 years of serving the people of the Texas Hill Country. Our goal has been the same since we opened in Fredericksburg 20 years ago, to combine the relationship banking of yesterday with the technology of today for a better brand of banking. Arrowhead Bank is proud to support our students in all their endeavors, athletic and academic, and we're excited to celebrate their successes this year. Billy Pride, Eberalice, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 423091.
Fredericksburg Veterinary Center takes care of animals of all sizes, little bitty small ones and great big tall ones. They'll treat your furry friends just like it was their own. Doctors East and Eckert can do all sorts of stuff to help them, like x-rays and blood work, surgeries and sonograms. They'll even work on their teeth. And if your animal is sick or something, they'll even go to your ranch or house to help them. Give them a call or visit them online at fbgvetcenter.com.
At Fredericksburg Eye Associates, ophthalmologist Drs. Ann Plinicky and Charles Cohn provide comprehensive medical and surgical eye care. At their state-of-the-art facility off Highway 87, they use the latest equipment for everything from routine eye exams to monitoring macular degeneration. Cataract procedures include the latest advances in lens design, allowing more freedom from glasses than ever before. Fredericksburg Eye Associates, 997-6535, online at fbgi.com.
DR Welding and Construction is the Texas Hill Country's choice for metal buildings using #1 American-made materials. They are fully insured for your protection and peace of mind. If you're in need of a metal building, a horse barn, airplane hangar, warehouse, equipment shed, barn dominium, or a business, DR Welding and Construction, 830-997-1058. On the web, drweldinginc.com. Quality and craftsmanship make the difference at DR Welding and Construction.
Do you have a good head coach to draw up a play for your retirement plan? Have you done the practice drills necessary to produce a good portfolio? If not, contact Joseph Financial Partners. They will sit you down in front of the chalkboard and walk you through all the X's and O's. They'll set up your offense and your defense so you're prepared for the good days and the bad days. If you're not sure about your coach or the plays that you're running, contact Joseph Financial Partners, 830-997-4763, or online at josephfinancialpartners.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial member FINRA.
For a family-operated, community-focused business that supports all men and women in the United States military and first responders, think Toch Well Service. For all your well repairs and service after drilling, think Toch Well Service. For water pump installation in windmill, solar pump, jet, submersible pump, and pressure tank service, think Toch Well Service. They've been serving Fredericksburg and the Texas Hill Country since 2002. Call 830-997-2413. License number 4502-KLP.
Here we go.
Hey now, game day now, hey now. All right, we are back, Barefoot 108 East Main, Fredericksburg. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm pumped up for this one. We got to talk about keys to victory. I know you say sometimes it's cliche, but can I throw the first one out there?
Sure.
Stop the run.
Stop the run. That certainly
stop
is the key
the run
to victory.
tonight.
So defensively, stop the run. I think there's some other keys on defense. You got to force them to punt. I always talk to our defense about forcing a 3 and out. And if you give them a first down, then once they get a first down, then now you're back to trying to get another 3 and out. So if you can get 3 and out, I've said it all year. If the defense is drinking water, then we got a chance. If the defense is on the field for a long time, then we're in trouble. So we want to get the defense off the field.
And I guess offensively, we want to have long, methodical drives.
Yeah, certainly. So defensively, let me finish that. Force them to punt, create turnovers. We were able to do that. We created some turnovers last week. We're going to create some more turnovers, and then you said it firstly, stop the run. I think if we can do those 3 things on defense, then we'll have a chance to win the game in the end. And then offensively, we want to control the clock and get points when we get in the red zone. That's critical to get points when we get in the red zone and control the clock. And then, take care of the ball. My wife knows that one by heart.
Take care of the ball.
Got to take care of the ball.
Take care of the rock.
Well, and coming out of halftime last week, we didn't take care of the ball. Like, we turned it over twice. And I mean, we basically gave it back to them with a short field and gave them an opportunity to get back in the game. Like, we have a 1-score lead, and then we give it. They take it down and drive and take away the 1-score lead, and then we give the ball right back to them. So now we give them a chance to take the lead in the game, right? And so can't do that. Got to take care of the football and just execute with what they're giving us. And then in special teams, we got to be solid in our fundamentals and hopefully try to steal a possession. If there's some way we can steal a possession in special teams, and you can steal a possession in special teams just as simple as having a really good punt that pins them way far back into their own red zone. So that's a way to steal a possession. You can have them muff a return on a kickoff, get a fumble, you can block a punt. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can do it. And certainly, we want to be able to try to do that in the special teams game. And then, other than that, it's just a matter about being cued in and playing complementary football. When we need to play on special teams, making a play. When we need to play on offense, making a play. When we need to play on defense, making a play. So
when we talked about fundamentals, be fundamentally sound, and things will come together.
And that's the cool thing is that we've worked really hard at that. I remind the coaches every week to make sure we stick to the fundamentals. The practices were good this week. We've had some really good practices. I think it goes back to our. I mentioned the book and talking about our theme about winning in the dark, and I think our kids truly understand how important those Monday through Wednesday, Thursday morning times are.
When nobody's looking.
When nobody's watching, and how important it is to be there and to be doing everything the best you can. And that's, ultimately remind them that this is all about, I told them this morning, this is all about us being the best we can possibly be, coaches, players, everybody in the organization. We got to try to be the best we can be on every single play and depend on each other and believe in each other and go get it done. Welcome to our moment is what I said this morning. And,
right on.
We've worked hard to get here. It's not about the bright lights and the all of that. It's about all the things we've done to get to that point. Now we're in our moment, so let's take advantage of our moment. So good stuff.
I love it.
Good stuff.
You and I have talked quite a bit about playing after Thanksgiving, so
that's always the goal.
There's a good little goal right now.
That's always a goal. You win this when you get a chance to play next week. Completely different operation because you're not in school and all of that stuff. And so I hope we get to talk about that next week.
I do too.
That's certainly something that in the coaching world you want to be playing at Thanksgiving for sure.
Absolutely, positively, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just talk about some of the fall sports as we as we wrap up here.
Yeah. So first we'll talk about boys and girls basketball. Those guys are getting after it. The girls are 2-0 right now, having played Mason, and then maybe they're 3-0. They're 3-0, yeah, sorry. They played Dripping Springs last week, big win on the road. Went to Mason last Saturday, had another big win on the road, and they played at home against Navarro and had a big win on Tuesday night at home. So girls basketball is off to a good start. Boys basketball will start playing games on Monday. Their first game will be on Monday.
All right.
We let some of our freshman kids that play football get tried out in basketball, and they've been practicing with them during the period, and then they'll play their first game on Monday. So
awesome.
So we'll see where they are. And they're both, boys and girls, are going to play Monday and Tuesday. That's a Thanksgiving thing. They play 2 games before that holiday.
Feast week.
Yeah, right. And so, and if we're in the old days, you had school on Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
And so they'd play games on Monday and Tuesday because that Tuesday's the last day of the week, so they could play that game on Tuesday. So they're going to do that this week, and hopefully they'll do well with that. And shout out to Coach Grona. She got her 200th win.
Hey now.
So we appreciate her. And then Ella Hartman scored her 1,000th point, I believe, last Saturday. Last Saturday at Mason, she scored her 1,000 points. So we celebrated that at the home game, and Coach Grona's 200th win. And what a great, testament to those 2 programs. They're both storied, tradition-rich programs now, boys and girls basketball. And then boys and girls golf have also been playing this fall. They kind of play Fall is kind of a pre-district thing for them. It's like non-district in football, where they kind of travel all over the country and they play at the regional site and they play at the state site, and they kind of get themselves ready for the season that happens in the spring. And so, I mean, they do that up until basketball starts, because Coach Kamen's the head coach, and so he's been traveling all over the state with those guys, and they've played really well. We've got a really good girls team and a really good boys team this year, so we expect great things from them out of the spring when they come back. And then our swim team got a third place finish last week. They're going again this week, and they've trudged along. We've struggled with some coaching changes in that program, and we've had to kind of be creative about how we're going to keep that program being coached. And we shout out to Al Carr, who's assumed that role this year as kind of our private coach, and then Coach Dans and Coach Dietrich are helping get those kids to travel and do what they do. And so they're doing a great job representing us and keeping the program going, and they're improving every week. So they'll come back after Christmas, and they'll kind of sprint through Christmas to their district, which will be late January, and then they go to regionals in February, and then they hit state right there in February as well. So and then of course our cheer group has done an amazing job with school spirit. Pep rallies have been really good. This one was a little dead today. I won't deny that. They turned that over to Coach Timms, and he's this big, larger than life figure who has a big booming voice and all of that, and he's certainly the guy that needs to MC the pep rallies. But I think everybody's ready for the Thanksgiving break today. It was a little dead today, but certainly we'll get the spirit going tonight. And that cheer group, a lot of people don't know this about them. They compete in UIL as well. So when they come back, when football ends, then they kind of sprint toward their competition. Their competition is in January, and so they do UIL Spirit competition in January. I think it's the second or third week of January. So they go, and that group has done an amazing job. They went from finishing like 75th to like 47th to like last year they finished 24th, which was just out of the finals. So their goal is to try to get in the finals and get to do a repeat and see if they can do really well at state. So shout out to all those kids.
Billy Nation staying busy.
Doing a lot of great things. Middle school we've started basketball as well. Those groups are playing, and they play on Mondays and Thursdays. I think the boys are on Monday, the girls are on Thursdays, and they're doing really good with that, and our middle school coaches are doing a great job. And so, yeah, it's just a great time to be a part of Billy Nation, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And shout out to our band. Everybody knows what they've done, but, Brian Hekamovich and his group have done a great job, and they love football, man. They love being at the football games and do just an amazing job. So it's great to be a Billy for sure.
Area playoffs tonight. Yep. Take care of the Wildcats. Let's come back and do this again next week.
That's the plan. We certainly hope that happens.
That's the plan. Well, God bless you, Coach.
Thank
Coach
you.
Lance
Appreciate
Moffett, J.D. Rose. That's going to wrap up the show for today. Miller, go deep. Go deep.
Oh,
go deep.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's
Billy,
going
be
deep.
careful. Don't trip over the camera. There we go. There it is.
Oh, man. I hit you right in the bread basket, dude. God bless y'all.
Thank you.
Adios.
Bounce off the pads.
Adios.